Listo. Muy bien. Más palabras. Más palabras tenemos. Disculpe, profe. Súper fácil. Disculpe, profe. ¿Qué significa disculpe, profe? You can try to use your microphone if you want. Maybe it works now. I don't know. Excuse me, professor. Yes. Yes, excuse me. Disculpe. Disculpe es como excuse me. When you want to say something or when you want to interrupt a little bit, excuse me, you can use disculpe. Disculpe, señora. Disculpa, profesor. Profe, it's what we actually use for profesor, you know. It's like the short word for profesor. We use it a lot. Not many of us say profesor, it's way too long. Disculpe, profe. ¿Puede repetir, por favor? That is super easy. ¿Puede repetir, por favor? Yes, please repeat. It actually looks like the same word in English and Spanish. Repetir, repeat. ¿Puede repetir, por favor? And we are very kind, so we say por favor. Muy importantes, muy importantes. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Qué significa? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Qué significa? These two questions will be very helpful for us because the advance or la ventaja que tenemos is that we can or I can understand two languages. So you can ask me in English, ¿cómo se dice overwhelmed en español? And I can help you out. Okay? Any word that you don't know how to say it and you really want to know, ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Qué significa talks about the meaning of something? ¿Qué significa when you see a word and you don't understand what it is or you heard a word and you don't know what it is? ¿Qué significa? For example, ¿qué significa qué ondas? Somebody said to you, ¿qué ondas? And you look in the Google Translate and ¿qué ondas? Means what wave? But it doesn't make sense. What wave? ¿Qué ondas? Would be something like what's up? Es un saludo informal. So sometimes we use words or phrases that doesn't make sense when we translate them, but it makes sense in our culture. It doesn't make that much sense, but okay. ¿Qué significa? Muy importante también. Very important. Ya entendí. That feeling. Ese sentimiento de ya entendí. Por fin. ¿Qué significa ya entendí? Nadie. Ya entendí. It means I understood. Finally, I understood. Ya entendí. And the last one, but not least, gracias. Gracias. Of course. Thank you. We're going to use that word a lot. Vamos a usarla muchísimo. Muchas gracias. Gracias. Okay, so these phrases are going to be very useful for you. Palabras útiles. No entiendo. Tengo una pregunta. Disculpe, profe. ¿Puede repetir, por favor? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Qué significa? Ya entendí. Gracias. Ok, vamos a la siguiente. Dice, hay muchas formas de comenzar una conversación. Hay muchas formas de comenzar una conversación. There are many ways to start a conversation. ¿Qué ejemplos hay? Saludar. When we say buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Podemos comenzar la conversación con nuestros nombres o preguntando quién eres. When we say our names or asking for their names. That it's a starter. Preguntar cómo están. Asking about how are you. We're going to see this question. It has a different meaning in Spanish and English. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo están? Hacer un buen comentario. When you make a good comment about somebody else or about something, it's a good way to start a conversation. Preguntas, questions, e intereses, common interest. Vamos a ver cada uno de ellos, ¿ok? We're going to check each one of these points so we have a little bit more of vocabulary to start a conversation. Ok. Esta todos la sacaron bien en el cuestionario, en el examen. You all did good with these questions in the quick test that I gave you to answer. You did good. So you already know what buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches significa. Okay, it's almost the same in English and Spanish. Casi lo mismo, okay? Buenos días. In the morning, we say buenos días. Buenas tardes. In the afternoon. Y buenas noches. What happens here? ¿Qué pasa con buenas noches? In English, when we say good night, it's usually because we're going to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. It's late. En español, nosotros decimos buenas noches when it's dark. Whenever it's dark, sometimes after after 6 or 7, we can say buenas noches, even if you're not saying goodbye. No es para despedirte. Siempre que está oscuro, when it's dark, you can say buenas noches. And people won't think that you are saying goodbye or you are going to sleep. It's just a way to say hello. Buenas noches. Okay, that is one of the difference. Buenos días in the morning, buenas tardes in the afternoon, and buenas noches in the evening or at night. That is super easy, so we're going to pass to the next one. Vamos al siguiente. A little break. Un pequeño break. También decimos la palabra break en español. ¿Quién soy? Ok. Vamos a tener este pequeño break para yo explicarles o compartir. I'm going to share who I am. ¿Quién soy? ¿Quién soy? ¿Por qué? Porque no me conocen. You don't know me. That's why. That's one reason. 2, because I want you to listen. 2, porque quiero que escuchen. Quiero que escuchen cómo yo me presento con ustedes. And I'm going to ask you some questions at the end. Les voy a preguntar algunas cosas sobre mí al final. Okay? It is also important because for the next class, I want to know you. En la siguiente clase, yo quiero saber de ustedes. Yo no los conozco. Last time I saw you, you were wearing mask. Estaban usando cubrebocas. no conozco su cara. Entonces, en la próxima clase, ustedes van a hacer esto. Ustedes se van a presentar conmigo. You are going to introduce yourselves with me. Maybe with the rest of the group. I want to know you already. Like today, I want to know who you are. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be patient. Voy a ser muy paciente hasta la próxima clase. ¿Ok? Así ustedes tienen tiempo de pensar y de asegurarse de poder explicarme quiénes son. You're going to have time to think what do you want to share with us and to make sure you are saying exactly what you want. So, empiezo. Yo empiezo, ¿ok? ¿Listos? Perfecto, muy bien. ¿Quién soy? Yo me llamo Clarisa Guadalupe Arauz Mora. Ese es mi nombre, Clarisa Guadalupe Arauz Mora. Yo soy Clarisa Arauz Mora. Esta soy yo. No estoy usando cubrebocas. Ya no tengo cubrebocas, no tengo mascarilla. ¿Ok? Yo soy mexicana. Yo nací en México. Nací en el estado de Sinaloa, pero vivo en Baja California. Yo tengo 27 años. Tengo 27 años y me gusta viajar. Me gusta viajar con mis amigas. Me gusta viajar con mi familia. Yo soy profesora. Yo soy profesora. Trabajo en el colegio El Porvenir, en primaria y secundaria. También trabajo en universidad. ¿Ok? ¿Qué me gusta? A mí me gusta la comida mexicana. A mí me encantan los tacos. Me gustan mucho los tacos. ¿Ok? Me gusta bailar y me gusta hacer ejercicio. Yo no estoy soltera, estoy comprometida y me voy a casar el día 3 de abril, muy pronto. ¿Ok? Mi color favorito es el color morado o púrpura. Y me gusta mucho ayudar a los demás. A mí me gusta ayudar a los demás. Me gusta platicar. Me gusta convivir con los niños y las niñas de la escuela. Okay, and that's it. That's my presentation. Not much to say. Okay. Chicos y chicas, guys, ¿qué pudieron entender sobre mí? ¿Qué escucharon sobre mí? What did you get about me? About my information that I shared with you. ¿Qué escucharon por ahí? ¿Qué entendieron? You like tacos and dancing? I do. Sí. I'm 27. Yes, 27. Viejita. Old. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? You're getting married on April 3rd and you like traveling with family and friends. Yes, sí, me caso. My favorite color is purple. Yes. Sí, mi color favorito es púrpura o morado. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Nada más? Sí, soy profesora en el Porvenir. Me gusta viajar con mis amigos y mi familia. You're working at university. Sí, estoy trabajando en la universidad también. You like children. I do. That's why I work at El Porvenir with many of them. Sí, me gustan los niños. Perfect. You got a lot. Yes, that's good. So this is a very simple introduction of myself. Es algo muy sencillo. I didn't have much time to get my actual pictures, eating tacos and my actual pictures working with kids, because yesterday we had no internet. So I couldn't download my pictures and get them here. So I worked with what I had. Trabajé con lo que tenía. Pero esta es una forma en la que ustedes pueden hacer su presentación. ¿Ok? Me gustaría conocerlos. Entonces, en la próxima clase, yo quisiera que ustedes me enviaran una pequeña diapositiva o fotografía de ustedes y me platicaran sobre ustedes, qué les gusta, qué hacen en su tiempo libre, su edad, de dónde son. So this is kind of an exercise or homework for next class. I would like you to introduce yourselves just with a simple slide like this. Maybe some pictures of you or the things you like, and you can introduce yourself in Spanish, of course. We're practicing en español. And you can tell me whatever you want. You can tell me your name. You can tell me where are you from, your age, your likes, your dislikes, about your family, whatever you want to share with us. Lo que quieran compartir con nosotros, ¿ok? So, empezamos y ya tenemos tarea. We have our homework. Ok, but we're going to continue. Vamos a continuar, ¿ok? Para decir tu nombre, cuando quieres compartir tu nombre, van a escuchar que tenemos muchas formas de decir nuestro nombre. We have many ways to share our names, ¿ok? You can say, yo soy Clarisa, or your name, of course. Soy Clarisa, me llamo Clarisa. The three of them are correct. Las tres están correctas. It would mean something like I'm, my name is, okay? The three of them are correct. You just choose whatever you feel more comfortable with. Lo que te haga sentir más cómodo. Comfortable, cómodo. Yo soy Clarisa, me llamo Clarisa. Whatever you want to use. When you are actually having a conversation with somebody else, you share your name, and of course you are curious about the name of the other person. So you ask what his or her name is. ¿Cómo se pregunta? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? ¿Cómo se llama? O, ¿y usted? We don't use ¿quién eres? Okay, we don't use ¿quién eres? ¿Quién eres? It is used more like who are you? It might sound a little bit rude, so we don't use it a lot. Instead, we can use ¿cuál es tu nombre? ¿Cómo te llamas? O when you already said your name, yo soy Clarisa, you can just add ¿y usted? So you are asking about his or her name. ¿Y usted? Would be something like and you? Okay, guys, there's a little bit of difference in English and Spanish because you can sound formal or informal depending of this. ¿Cuál es su nombre? Because you can also say ¿cuál es tu nombre? If you're asking ¿cuál es su nombre? It is in a context a little bit more formal. okay? When you don't know that person, when that person is older than you, when it is something related to a job, you use su nombre. It's a little bit more respectful, okay? But when we are talking in an informal environment, we can say tú, okay? It is also correct when we are talking to kids, to children at school. If we ask them, ¿cuál es su nombre? They are going to feel like they are old people, okay? So when we are working with kids and we want to know their names, we don't say, ¿cuál es su nombre? We usually say, ¿cuál es tu nombre? O ¿cómo te llamas? Oops, ¿cómo te llamas? Instead of ¿cómo se llama? And instead of usted y usted, you can say, ¿y tú? I say it again. This is usually when you know this person or when this person is your same age or younger than you, or it is an informal context. You can use, ¿y tú? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? The good thing is that whatever you decide to use or whatever it comes to your mind first, el tú o el usted, people will understand you, ¿ok? Ellos te van a entender y eso es lo más importante. Queremos hablar para entendernos. We want to talk so we can understand each other. That's the main reason. So don't feel afraid. If you already have a little bit of Spanish and you want to improve, this is important for you to learn. But if you think it will be difficult and you won't remember which one is for which one, it's okay. People will understand. ¿Ok? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Quién eres? No lo usamos. Y tú. And you. Y tú. And after you introduce each other, después de que ya te dijo yo soy Clarissa, yo soy Sam, yo soy Clarissa, y tú, yo me llamo Rachel, normalmente podemos usar estas palabras. Mucho gusto, encantado, un placer conocerte, un gusto conocerte. ¿Ok? These are usually words that you get from school. Un placer conocerte. Es un placer conocerte. Es un gusto conocerte. But the reality is that we only use this when this is something formal. Okay? It is correct. People will understand. You will sound very polite. But if you want something more informal or something with people from your age or with kids at school, we can just say mucho gusto. O, encantada. O encantada. Mucho gusto, encantado o encantada. Ok, hasta aquí. ¿Hay alguna pregunta? ¿Hay alguna duda? Questions? Dime. Oh, el arroba. En español se llama arroba. Yo lo uso porque no quiero escribir encantado o encantada. Recuerden que para hombre y mujer, for she or for he, we use different terminations, like encantado para hombre, for a boy, encantada for a girl, para una chica. Okay? So when I put just the arroba, Oh, it's not working anymore. What happened? Ah, ahí. Cuando yo pongo el arroba significa que tú lo puedes cambiar para hombre o para mujer. Encantado o encantada. ¿Ok? So whenever you see a text in Spanish and people are using these kind of things like me, it's because we want to say encantado o encantada, or because we are referring to a boy or girl or whatever, you know. We are not specific about man or woman. That it can be used for both. It's the same sometimes for my students. I ask them like nombre del alumno. Alumno o alumna. That means boy or girl. Ya, y así me evito. Before we used to do this. Okay, alumno o alumna. It's a little bit more formal if you do it this way, but it also works if you just put arroba. Esta arroba. Perfecto. Continuamos. Ahora, cuando preguntamos ¿cómo estás? Cuando preguntamos ¿cómo estás? People usually answer bien. ¿Y tú? Right? Cuando preguntamos ¿cómo estás? Los demás dicen bien. ¿Y tú? Good. And you? But not always we're going to get good and you. No siempre vamos a obtener un bien. ¿Y tú? In Spanish, when you ask ¿cómo estás? You can get many answers. Muchísimas. I think in English, from my experience, I don't know if this is true. It doesn't matter what is happening. If you ask somebody else, how are you? They are going to say something short like, I'm good. And you? Good. Doing well. It is always something good or something short. You don't talk about how really you are feeling. But in Spanish, we are comunicativos, chismosos, which means we like to express what we are feeling, how we are feeling, what is going on with our lives, chismecito. So we can say a lot of our lives. When you ask us, be ready, because we're going to share with you how we are feeling, what's going on with our lives. ¿Cómo estás? Okay? Things that people can answer when you ask, ¿cómo estás? Of course, bien. ¿Y tú? That's the ideal, right? That is from the books and that's the easiest one. Cuando te contestan bien, ¿y tú? Eso es lo más fácil. But they can also talk to you about how they are really feeling or what is really going on with their lives. A veces te van a decir, muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú? This is something that Directora Maria Luisa always answers to me. I don't know if you have asked her, ¿cómo estás? And she says, muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú? Did that happen to you anytime, right? Yeah, she always uses that. And it's almost like our greeting now. Muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú? Which means, what does it mean? You know. ¿Qué significa? Muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú? Kind of. Yes, very good. Thanks to God and you. Very well, thank God and you. Yes. So this will be very helpful for you. Muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú? But, Directora María Luisa, and I noticed today because she called me to my phone. She speaks very fast. Habla bien rápido. Right? Entonces dije, pobrecitos, poor of them. They're going to have a hard time trying to understand what she says. Don't worry, it happens to me too. También me pasa. A veces tengo que poner mucha atención para entender qué dice. I have to pay attention because she speaks fast. And she has a different accent. It happens, if you can understand what about me. Yes, I know. Eso pasa porque en México tenemos diferentes acentos. We have different accents, depends of the part of Mexico where we live. I mean, in Spanish there are a lot of accents, even between countries and inside the country. So we are from the north. We are in the north of Mexico. So we used to talk a little bit faster than other places. So if you are going to understand how we talk here, you are going to understand perfectly when you go to somebody else in Mexico, okay? We talk very fast. Yo soy de Sinaloa. Sinaloa es otro lugar donde hablamos muy rápido, ¿ok? Creo que hablo un poquito más despacio que otras personas. Trato de ser más calmada porque si no hablo muy, 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 muy rápido. But don't worry, we're going to get there. Ella te va a decir, muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú? And you can answer so many things. We're going to check the answers a little bit later. ¿Qué otra cosa te pueden contestar cuando preguntas cómo estás? They can say un poco enfermo. They can say un poco mal de salud. Something very informal that you might get a lot is pues ahí andamos, or más o menos. Más o menos, pues ahí andamos. Okay, you can get many answers from just one simple question. Un poco enfermo, un poco mal de salud. Do you know what it means? ¿Qué significa un poco enfermo, un poco mal de salud? Yes, not feeling well. Un poco enfermo, a little bit sick. Like if you asked me this question yesterday, I would say mal, un poco enferma, because yesterday I was feeling like I was about to get like a cold or something like that. I wasn't feeling well. So people can actually tell you when you ask in Spanish, cuando preguntas en español, te van a contestar la verdad, the truth. They are going to say if they are feeling sick or sad or something, okay? Informal. Pues ahí andamos. Más o menos. Right now where we are living, where you are living, because I'm living very far away from you. Well, not that far, just like 1 hour away. People use this common language, okay? We don't speak very formal, especially parents from the kids at our school. They are not like really into very formal Spanish, because they also have their languages. I don't know if you know that they have their own languages. Not the language, that is not a word. It's like a dialect, un dialecto, okay? Como náhuatl, mayo. From other parts of Mexico, they have their own way of communication. So they are also learning, some of them, not all, they are also learning Spanish, or Spanish is their second language. Entonces, no tienen un español muy formal. They do not have a very formal Spanish, okay? So sometimes if you ask a parent, they might answer something like this. Pues ahí andamos, más o menos. Which means, so, we're doing well. Okay? Something like that. What other thing? Oopsie. They can just say, especially if you're asking kids, they can say sad. They can say, estoy triste. Estoy triste. I'm sad. You know, kids are going to tell you whatever they are feeling. Estoy triste. Estoy enojado. Estoy cansado. Okay? This is especially when you ask kids. They are going to say that they are not going to see el ¿cómo estás? As a greeting or as a way to just being polite. If you are asking, how are you? They are going to tell you how they are. Estoy triste. Estoy enojado. Estoy cansado. They are going to tell you if they are sad, if they are angry, if they are tired. And probably, especially with kids my age, especialmente con niños pequeños, they are going to talk a lot. They want to tell you what happened yesterday, what happened, why they are sad, and it might be a lot of information. Same with adults. So we have some answers. Tenemos unas respuestas que pueden usar dependiendo de lo que te digan. Okay? Si te dan mucha información, if they tell you a lot, and you didn't fully understand what they said, but you want to continue the conversation, you have some of these answers that will work with almost everything. Van a servirles para casi todo. Probablemente no van a entender todo lo que les digan, pero sí van a entender unas partes. For example, if you ask me, ¿cómo estás? Y te digo, ay, no, estoy bien mal, fíjate que me he sentido bien mal porque estoy bien acalorada y luego me siento mal y he estado enferma y fue al doctor y ayer no la encontré, pero hoy sí, ya me pusieron una inyección y me estoy sintiendo mejor. You see? They are going to say a lot. And this is kind of slow. People like to talk fast here. You didn't understand. But you did understand that I wasn't feeling good. Because I was kind of complaining, right? You understood because of my body language, or you understood because you catch maybe one or two words. Mal, doctor, mejor. Okay, maybe you got some words. So you know that I'm not feeling well. What can you say? Qué bueno. Not right? No van a decir qué bueno. Lo siento mucho. That might be better. Lo siento mucho. I'm so sorry to hear that you are feeling bad. Right? It will be a lifesaver. Or, yo también. That's funny. Yo también. I feel the same way than you. That will work with some occasions. Or, te entiendo. Te entiendo, which means I get you. I understand. I understand what you're saying. But if we do not understand or we do not fully understand, don't use this one. They might ask questions and we don't want that. So we can say lo siento mucho. Lo siento mucho. Which means I'm so sorry to hear that. Lo siento mucho. But instead, if you ask a kid, for example, ¿cómo estás? And he's super happy, está muy feliz y dice, estoy muy bien porque ayer vino mi papá, ya llegó y fuimos a la feria y ayer me llevó y nos subimos a muchos carritos y vino mi hermana y mi prima y nos portamos muy bien todos y nos compraron unas palomitas. What are you going to say to that? ¿Qué bueno? ¿Lo siento mucho? ¿Yo también? ¿O te entiendo? Which one would you use for a kid like that? You ask him and he's so happy. You didn't understand what he said because he was talking way too fast and too much. But what would you say? Qué bueno. Lo siento mucho. Yo también o te entiendo. Time to vote. Qué bueno. Qué bueno. Qué bueno. Yeah, that's good. Qué bueno. Because maybe you didn't fully understand what she said or he said, but because of the body language you understood that it was something good, right? What I said something like, my dad came here and we went to the fair and we bought popcorn and blah blah blah, many things. I didn't even remember what I said, but kids are like that. They talk very fast, they talk a lot, they want to tell you everything. So qué bueno, it's a good answer. The kid will feel like you are there, you are trying to understand. He will feel sympathy. Okay, so we can use qué bueno, which means that's good. We can say lo siento mucho, which will be something like, I'm so sorry to hear about that, or I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Yo también, which means me too, and te entiendo, which means okay, I understand, I get you. Okay, these 4 answers, if they tell you a lot, or if you want to continue the conversation, you can use one of these. I mean, this is just some vocabulary that I am offering you, so you can use it. Of course, if you have your own answers, of you feel like you can follow the conversation in another direction or in another way, you can absolutely use it. Okay, we're almost finished. Another thing, to keep up a conversation or just to start a conversation, sometimes we can just make random comentarios. Okay, like what? The ideal situation would be that COVID-19 didn't exist and you were there helping the kids and sharing moments with them and seeing them during recess or seeing them during school. And how would you start a conversation? Sometimes you can start a conversation just by saying something nice to them, right? Solo mencionando algo. Or you can just express yourself. I am that kind of person that likes to express. And if I see something in you that I like, I probably will tell you. I don't like to keep it for me. I like to share the good. So sometimes we can be buena onda. Do you know what buena onda means? ¿Qué significa buena onda? This is informal vocabulary. Si yo te digo, eres muy buena onda. We'll see. Nadie? Cool? Yes? Cool. That's a good way to say it. Cool. Buena onda means cool. We'll see what Google Translate says. Yeah, cool. Yeah, usually, I mean, literally, buena onda would be again something like good wave. Okay? Good wave. It doesn't make sense, but it means cool, that you are cool. Or that you are nice. Buena onda could mean nice. Entonces, if we want to be cool or we want to be nice to somebody else, we can use kind commentaries or I don't know how to say it in English. Comentarios amables. Like what? Como que? I don't know. Some of the things that I can imagine, algunas de las cosas que me puedo imaginar pueden ser, qué bonitos tenis. Qué bonito cabello. Especially with the girls that are playing in the school. Qué bonito cabello. Wow, qué rápido eres. Qué buena presentación. Buen trabajo. Eres muy inteligente. Qué interesante. You can see it better now. This is just some of the things that, yes, friendly comments. These are just some of the things that came to my mind. I mean, if you have more vocabulary, you can start a conversation just by saying something nice, a friendly commentary. Qué bonitos tenis. I mean, talking about what's nice pair of shoes. What a nice hair. Wow, you are so fast. Qué rápido eres. Qué buena presentación. Sometimes when we somebody else doing something good, we can just start a conversation by saying that, like, qué buena presentación. For example, today that you are having a meeting with directora, right? And maybe you have a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation. And if I want, after you did the presentation, I want to start a conversation with you, I might say, qué buena presentación. Qué buen trabajo. Good presentation. Good job. So we can maybe start the conversation with that. Okay? O eres muy inteligente, just saying something nice about the other person. Qué interesante. Very interesting. Okay, guys. Wow. Just o'clock. Almost 11. Okay, guys. This time it was me talking. Esta vez fue un poquito más yo hablar. Pero espero que tengamos la oportunidad en la próxima clase de que ustedes también puedan hablar. Porque queremos aprender pues a hablar, a conversar, ¿verdad? Para la próxima clase tenemos 2 tareas. We have 2 homeworks. Yay. Yupi. ¿Qué tareas? Número 1, estudiar preguntas para conversación porque en la próxima clase va a haber 2 invitados, otra vez, invitadas o invitados especiales. What does it mean? ¿Qué significa? For the next class, I have 2 guests for you. Okay? They are going to join this meeting. Se van a unir a la videollamada y ustedes les van a preguntar cosas, lo que quieran. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres? ¿En qué trabajas? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Just, I mean, they are going to know that you are learning Spanish, so don't worry about that. And I think they also know a little bit of English, so they will understand us. Pero son invitados especiales. Entonces, para que ustedes practiquen sus preguntas o para empezar una conversación, please write down maybe in a notebook or in a piece of paper, or just keep it in your mind if you want to. Some questions for them. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres? ¿Cuántos años tienes? And they will answer to you. Ellas les van a contestar en español, obviamente. So you can have at the end of these questions, you will have an idea of who they are. ¿Se entiende? ¿Entendieron? ¿Sí? ¿No? ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo mal? Yo entendí. Ah, muy bien. Muy bien. Tarea número 2. Fue la primera tarea que les dije. It was the first homework I told you about. Just a simple slide. Una pequeña presentación. Maybe on PowerPoint. I will open in Classroom a space so you can upload your PowerPoint or your picture. Para que ustedes se presenten. Para que ustedes me digan cuál es su nombre, quiénes son, de dónde son, qué les gusta, qué no les gusta. Okay, something very simple, but you are going to be practicing speaking. Van a practicar el hablar. ¿Ok? ¿Se entiende? ¿Entendieron esta? ¿Dudas? ¿Preguntas? ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo mal? ¿Qué es la tarea segunda? Ok, segunda tarea is this. Esto. You're going to create a presentation or a PowerPoint slide or just a picture that you want to upload, and you are going to introduce yourself to the rest of the group and to me. In Spanish, of course. The same that I did for you today. Lo mismo que hice yo para ustedes. Decir quién soy, cuántos años tengo, sobre mí, sobre mi familia, qué me gusta, qué no me gusta. You are going to do the same. It can be just one picture or it can be a slide. Nice if you have time to be creative. Si tienen tiempo de hacerla muy bonita, muy creativa. And let me see if I can show you. Vamos a ver. Oops. Aquí en su clase, yo voy a crear una tarea, homework. Y se va a llamar presentación. ¿Ok? Crear tarea. Aquí ustedes pueden subir su diapositiva o su foto. You can upload your picture or your PowerPoint presentation. So next class, I can share my screen and I can share your picture or your PowerPoint slide, and you can introduce yourself to the other. ¿Ok? En español. Esa es la tarea número 2. La número 1 dijimos que es preguntas. Write down your questions or just study. Write down your questions or just study some questions to start a conversation with somebody else. Because we have 2 guests. Tenemos 2 invitadas y ustedes les van a hacer preguntas. I will invite 2 people, Spanish speakers, and they will hear. Ellos van a escuchar sus preguntas y las van a responder. If you ask her or ask him, ¿cómo te llamas? They will answer. ¿Cuántos años tienes? They will answer. Ellos les van a responder. Okay, so we're going to practice speaking and listening. ¿Todo bien? ¿Entendimos las 2 tareas? Sí, perfecto. Muy bien. Muy bien. So, sí. If you have questions or you want my help with the questions or with the things you can say when you are introducing yourselves, let me know. You can text me. WhatsApp is way faster than Google for me. Than Gmail. So you can send me a WhatsApp. Okay? Or you can just say your question or write down your question here in the in this part of the homework, and I will try to answer your question as soon as possible, lo más rápido que pueda. ¿Ok? Si no hay más dudas, if there's no more questions, los veo al ratito y luego los veo el viernes. Viernes es nuestra próxima clase. Next class is on... Oh, I'll have to check because I think that we are going to be working with Directora and the rest of the teachers. Let me check, right? Next class was supposed to be on Friday, but if I have to be online with the rest of the teachers, maybe we can change it to a different time, or yes, maybe different time. Okay, I will let you know. Yo les digo. Ahorita checo a qué horas y yo les aviso a qué horas la clase, ¿ok? You have time to study, you have time to make your presentation. ¿Ok? ¿Todo bien? Ya entiendo, muy bien. Nuestra palabra favorita va a ser ya entiendo ahora. Ok, chicos, nos vemos después. Bye bye. Hasta luego, chicos. Descansen. Bye, adiós. Espero que funcione el micrófono al rato. Bye bye.